as well. You know what? I have a great day every day because I work right here at the Bird Show. How many of you have never been out here to see our show before? Well, that's a lot of hands. Wonderful. Tell you what, those of you who haven't been here before, here is what you need to know. What we do here at the Bird Show is we're going to bring out birds from all over the world, and they're going to show us what they do naturally in the wild. And what makes it a lot of fun is we're going to see quite a bit of flying. You guys ready for that?
Yeah.
Are you ready for those birds to fly out there with you?
Yeah.
Good, because we're going to do a lot of that. Let me introduce myself, everyone. My name's Denise. I'm one of the bird trainers here. And as I said, we do like to do a lot of flying in here. I have a huge favor to ask. When you do see a bird coming your way, and you are probably all going to do that, can you do me and the birds a big favor and keep your hands right in your laps?
Yeah.
Perfect, that's great. Now let me introduce one other person helping to make this show possible. That's one of our other bird trainers working hard backstage. How about a big hand for Stacy? There she is. You're going to see the rest of Stacy a little bit later on. Now the first bird that we are going to start everything off with today is a bird that you have all seen before. I can guarantee it. It's a really common hawk right here in Minnesota. It's called a red-tailed hawk. He starts everything from the back. You might want to turn around. There he comes. Whoa, wonderful flying. Now you can probably guess how this bird gets his name. Red-tailed hawks are very easy to identify. You just have to look for that red rusty tail. You think you might have seen one of these before? Yeah, I thought so. They're very common. You can find them in quite a variety of habitats. They'll hang out near forests, wetlands, prairies, farmlands, even in our neighborhoods. Anyone think you've seen a bird like this close to home? No. Look at all those hands. Now you know why they like to hang out in our neighborhoods, right? Yeah. That's because of what they eat. What they eat hangs out around people, and you know they like to chow down on things like dogs, cats, and small kids kind of like the size of you guys. That's not true?
No.
You guys are pretty smart. I was just kidding. What do they really eat? You know it. Mice, rats, gophers, ground squirrels, rodents is the name of the game. So when you see a bird like this close to home, give them a thumbs up because red-tailed hawks are helping to do a great job of keep that rodent population under control. Now, someone else who's great to have around, I already introduced her. Let's see the rest of her. There's Stacy. She's gonna, oh, sure, you can clap for Stacy. Stacy's doing all the hard work, that is for sure. And she's gonna escort our red-tailed hawk off stage. But I have a little homework for all of you. What I want you to do on your way home today or on your way back to school is look out the windows, look along the roadsides, and look for red-tailed hawks because year-round, right here in Minnesota, you can find them. How's our red-tailed hawk? Stacy. Thanks, Stacy. All right. Now, red-tailed hawks, when do they prefer to do their hunting? At nighttime?
No.
Now, there is another group of birds that likes to take over when red-tailed hawks go to bed. Who likes to hunt at night? Would you like to see an owl this morning? We are going to show you an owl. It is an owl that is not commonly seen here in Minnesota. Although you can find this bird on every continent except for Antarctica. You might recognize him from the Harry Potter movie. It's called a barn owl. He's going to start everything right up here on stage. There he is. Now get ready, because he's coming right over your heads. There he goes. Now what I want you to do is take a big look at his face. Does it kind of look like a couple of satellite dishes where his eyes are? Yeah, a little bit, doesn't it? Here's what that does. Barn owls have incredible hearing. They can hunt without any light at all, just using their ears. That shape, that satellite dish shape, what it does is it collects sounds, takes it right to his ears, and they are amazing hunters. Now, once they hear something like a little rodent, you know what happens, right? of Central America. Except for sometimes you can catch a glimpse of them in the cereal aisle at the grocery store. Toucan. You guys want to see a toucan? Yeah! We're going to show you a keel-billed toucan. He's going to start everything up right over there. He's checking you guys out first. Want to come over to the bird trainer? There we go. Like I said, he's called a keel-billed toucan. Now, in the world, there's 35 different types of toucans. All of them have a couple things in common. What was the first thing you noticed when you passed by? Just shout it out. His big, colorful beak. That is what makes a toucan a toucan. They use that beak to grab little bits of fruit down in the tips of branches, or if they're lucky, they might find maybe a little baby bird, or a bird egg, maybe even a frog or a lizard. That is all excellent toucan food. Fruit Loops isn't, if you're wondering, okay? Now, the other thing that all toucans have in common, all 35 of them, like I said, they only live in the rainforests of Central America and South America. Now, rainforests provide home for a lot of different animals, like that toucan. But you know, you and I also depend on rainforests. For example, how many big people out there started your morning with a cup of coffee today? Yeah, I know I did. Some of you guys are raising your hands. You're drinking coffee already? Oh my goodness. Well, guess what? A lot of that coffee these days is grown in the rainforest. Anybody out there like chocolate? I thought you might. Chocolate, it was discovered in the rainforest. Anybody like to enjoy a little sip of Coca-Cola every once in a while? Yeah. Coca-Cola comes from a nut discovered in the rainforest, a cola nut. Now there's something else that we use every single day. We're using it right now. We'll use it until we die. I hear it. What is it? Shampoo. More important than shampoo, I hear it. Oxygen. You got it. Believe it or not, about half, almost half of the oxygen that we're breathing right here in Minnesota, it was produced by plants and trees in rainforests all over the world. That's pretty interesting. Now there's another group of birds that also likes to call their home the rainforest. That's where you can find a lot of parrots. There's actually 330 different types of parrots out there. We're going to show you one of the big ones. It's called a green-winged macaw. Green-winged macaws, they are exceptional climbers. He's going to demonstrate that for you with this beak. Now, not only do they climb really well, they can also fly pretty well as well. Now, green-winged macaws, they are actually doing pretty well in the wild. They've also figured out, just like red-tailed hawks, that it helps out if you can live in a variety of habitats. That's not true for many parrots, though. Many parrots aren't doing so well. Many of them, in fact, are endangered for a few reasons. One big reason is the pet trade. Even though it's illegal to steal a bird like this from the wild, people still do it, and that's having a big impact on their population. But another problem, a problem that's facing animals all over the world, you've heard about it, is habitat loss. Animals like these, they're losing their homes pretty fast. And that happens when people and animals live in the same places, compete for the same resources. Sometimes it's those animals that lose out. But fortunately, there's a lot of great organizations out there, like the Minnesota Zoo, that are working very hard. And that hard work is going to help make sure that animals like these do not disappear. Okay, folks, natural behaviors. That's what the bird show is all about, okay? That's all right. That was our green-winged macaw, everyone. Yeah, it happens sometimes. That's all right. Now, let me guess. You were probably waiting for that parrot to do something that you might think a lot of parrots can do. How many of you think parrots can talk? Yeah. Well, guess what? None of them can. Oh, what does that mean? What do? They don't really talk. There you go. They mimic sounds. They copy sounds. That's actually a natural behavior of many parrots. They'll copy the sounds of each other in the wild. That's just how they keep track of their flocks. But when a bird lives around people, they hear the sounds that we make, and they copy those sounds. Sounds like they're talking. They don't really understand it at all. We are going to show you one type of parrot that is thought to be one of the best types of sound copying parrots. It's called an African gray parrot. Ours is called Alex. There he is. Now, Alex start things off by blowing everyone out there in the audience a nice big kiss. He doesn't have lips, you guys. That's pretty good, isn't it? Now, he can do my favorite. That's blow his nose. And Alex is very good with numbers. Are you guys any good at math? Yeah. Check this out. Alex, what is 1 plus 3? 4. He was right. Should we try another one? Yeah. Let's try something a little harder. Alex, what's 7 minus 3? 4. Anybody out there like to golf at all? You do? Check this out, everyone. Alex, what do you say when you hit your golf ball over a tree? 4. It makes sense, doesn't it? You know what? I don't think Alex knows any math at all, but he does know a lot of sounds. In fact, we put them together into a little story. Would you like to hear a fairy tale? Yeah! I'm going to tell the story. Alex is going to make all the sound effects. Once upon a time, in a land far away, lived a little gray parrot with a distinguished name. Alexander. He was friends with all the animals, like the cat. And Alex was good friends with a little bitty horse. And he would even stop by to visit his good friend, the owl. Well, one day in this land far away, came a different sound, which seemed to say that a ghost was among the animals. But don't worry, this ghost was different than most because he was whistling a song. That does not sound like a scary ghost, does it? No, it wasn't. Those animals learned real quickly that song, it came right out of a car. And you know what that means. If a car is in the forest, it means people couldn't depart. People, they'd come to this land far away, and brought with them people things like their pagers. And of course, if you get a page, you have to find a telephone. Well, guess what? Some of those families, they even brought their pets. So Alex, he learned to call the dog. Well, guess what happened? Those animals, they got worried. And they sent Alex to see if the people were as scary as they thought them to be. So Alex went to visit those people early one morning. And of course, the first thing Alex said to them was, hello. Didn't you use your deeper voice? That's what I thought. Well, those people, they said hi. And so on and so forth, and they all talked for a while. You know what, after talking to Alex in just a few minutes, he got those people to laugh. And he also convinced them to care for all animals, all creatures, and all plants. To care for the whippoorwill, and even to care for the ants. That did not sound like an ant, did it? That sounded a lot more like a mallard. There we go. And you can't forget the mallard's good friend on the lake, that's the loon. You know, all those animals on the big blue lake, they all have something at stake. After talking to Alex, those people agreed that the land, the air, and the water for all was in need. All people, all animals, they all need a chance to eat, to sleep, to sing, and guess what? Even to dance. You want to see that once again? Yeah. Okay, don't miss the ending. Alex, they want to see you dance. Nice moves. So you know what? Those people decided that it might not be easy, but they definitely could learn to share this planet with all the animals. So they decided to leave the forest that day, but before they left, they turned to Alex and said goodbye. Goodbye. And Alex never lets anybody leave without a nice big wave. Everyone in that story lives happily ever after in the land far away. The end. Thanks, everyone. Alex, our little African gray parrot. I'll see you later, Alex. Any idea where you might find a parrot like that? Let me give you a hint. It's an African gray parrot. Yeah, there you go. Africa. Would you like to see another African bird? Yeah. You would? Would you like to see the biggest bird that we fly in this theater? You would? Would you like him to fly about that close to the tops of your heads? Yeah! Okay, that was most of you, I think. We're going to do just that. You guys, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the entire show. Get ready. We're going to bring out another owl. It happens to be the biggest species of owl in the world. It's called called a Eurasian eagle owl. He comes from the back. You might want to turn around. He's on. Get ready, it's not over yet. He's coming right back at you. Now, check this out. Earlier, you learned that owls can hear very well at night. Something else they can do that's pretty amazing is fly without making a sound. They have silent flight. Let's see if we can demonstrate that right now. I want everyone to be as quiet as a mouse. Nice work. You probably didn't hear anything to do. Did anyone feel anything at all? You guys did? You know, that's the last thing that a mouse feels. Like I said, he's called a Eurasian eagle owl, and you can guess where you find them in Europe and Asia, and like I mentioned earlier, Northern Africa. And if you are ever lucky enough to see a bird like this hunt in the wild, this is what you might see. They find a place to perch in a tree, and they sit there very patiently, looking and listening. Owls have great nighttime vision and hearing, and once they think they've heard or spotted a small little creature, perhaps like a mouse, that is when these birds pounce. Remember Eurasian eagle owl? That's your cue to pounce over there. There we go. And then you know what happens next, right? I think if he's lucky, he just takes the mouse to lunch, right? Yeah, something like that. That was our Eurasian eagle owl. Pretty nice hunting. That is for sure. Now, owls, they do well for a couple of other reasons. One of them is they have excellent camouflage. Did you notice that? They blend in very well to their environment. Another reason is they're very quiet. They're extremely hard to find. Guess what? Our next bird breaks all those rules. It's the complete opposite. It's a pretty brightly colored bird, and they can get pretty loud. It's a bird that you find in Australia. Have you ever heard of the cockatoo? Yeah. We're going to show you one. We're going to show you a sulfur-crested cockatoo. Keep your eyes on stage, because that's where he's coming from. Like I said, he's called a sulfur-crested cockatoo. Here at the show, we just call him Coconut, though, and he kind of does like to introduce himself. Can you say hi, Coconut? Hi, Coconut. Kind of. But you know, cockatoos are not known for their mimicking ability. What they're known for, it's that crest of feathers on top of their head. You see those little yellow feathers? Yeah. That's what makes a cockatoo a cockatoo. Now, what they use those feathers for is to communicate. If a bird like this gets nervous, excited, or scared, boom, up goes that crest of feathers. Let's see if we can demonstrate that right now, but look under his wings and tail. He's got quite a few nice yellow feathers. Very nice. He does like to show you all of his pretty feathers. What do you think? Is he a pretty good looking bird? I guess so. Who remembers where these birds are found? There we go, in Australia. Now, let me tell you something about Australia. If you are a farmer that lives in Australia, you are not at all excited about these birds. Here's why. Any idea where a flock of cockatoos might like to hang out? I hear it in farmers' fields, and they like to land down there, eat up all the seeds that the farmers planted. Now, it wouldn't be a big deal if there was just maybe 10, 20, or even 50 cockatoos landing in their field. That's not what happens. These birds hang out in huge, huge flocks. We're talking 1,000 of them to 2,000 of them. Imagine 2,000 cockatoos landing in your field. Like I said, if you're a farmer, this is not what you want to see. Hey, should we do that once more? I have a feeling a few of you blinked. Keep your eyes open this time. One more time, all the way around. Nice landing, Coconut. Now, speaking of Australia, there is a nickname that goes along with that place. Maybe you've heard, I heard it back there. The land, what is it? There it is, the land down under. Now, I don't really know why it's called the land down under, you guys, at all, but maybe Coconut has an idea why it's called the land down under, I don't know. Like I said, he's a sulfur-crested cockatoo. Coconut, we'll see you later. There he is. Now, cockatoos, they're doing real well down in Australia. Our next bird we're going to show you is doing pretty well right here in the United States. But it's a bird that we almost lost 30 years ago. Any idea? Our own national symbol, the bald eagle, almost disappeared due to water pollution. But they didn't, and they're not going to, and that's because people like you and I worked very, very hard, and that hard work has paid off. Minnesota is a great place to see bald eagles. I'm guessing you might want to see one up close. Yeah. Okay, we're going to show you one. She's a 17-year-old female bald eagle with Stacy. Wow. How many of you have seen a bald eagle here in Minnesota before? Oh my. Wow. Have any of you ever heard that call before? No. It's not very common to hear that, but here's when you might hear it. Let me explain what's going on here. Our bald eagle, she decided a long time ago that this whole theater, well, she thinks it belongs to her. This is kind of like a bald eagle nest, and we're all sitting right in the middle of it, and that's how they protect their territory, by screaming like that. She might even do a little bit of flapping of her wings while she's out here. That's all just to display to protect her territory. But like I said earlier, oh, there we go. Wow. Oh my. Wow. Any doubt at all about who was in charge in this bird show? Now everyone knows. You know, how about a big hand for our bald eagle? Wow, it's an incredible story. And you know, the story of the bald eagle, what it does is it proves that when people get together and when we work together, when we care about an animal, there's nothing stopping us. We can save species. And you know, one of the first steps to helping out, you guys are doing it today, whether you do it or not, is learning about these animals. Coming to the zoo, it's a great, great place to do that. Coming to the bird show is also an excellent way. You know what? I thank you so much for your patience, for your energy. You guys relax.